As you probably saw yesterday for my 12 Days of Christmas series, I talked about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but what about its CGI sequel? That's right, I'm John Barry, and today I am reviewing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys. So as I already established, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys is a CGI sequel, and it's primitive CGI to say the least. It's not the beautiful CGI that we are seeing nowadays, but it's still a good story in my opinion. It definitely is very different than the original, and that does make some sense. But it does, carry some things through, such as the prospector Cornelius, I think is his name, his discovering a peppermint mine at the North Pole. We have, granted they do in the special among the characters sing the song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and not the narrator. And the snowman narrator is a different one. It's just not the same. But there are some good things in this. It's a bit more action, you could say, than the previous one. But it does, it does go into some other themes that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer didn't go to, such as, what is it like for somebody to, who's in a normal reindeer to live up to Rudolph. That is literally one of the story beats. I could say maybe they could have done it slightly better, but I say it worked out pretty well. And let's see, what else I'm looking at. And actually, it explores the idea of toys that are basically forgotten by the owners. Not in the same way that Toy Story has done in Toy Story 4, but or even Toy Story 3. Maybe more so with Toy Story 3 than you might think. Granted, this predated Toy Story 3, and Toy Story 3 did it much better. But the idea of a stuffed bear is abandoned by its owner over the years. Granted, in here it's more the owner actually grew up, which is unfortunate. And then the owner's parents threw the stuffed bear away. Kind of different than what we got in Toy Story 3, which is makes sense. Stories will be different naturally, but sometimes there will be parallels. And if you're telling a story about whether your villain is actually a toy, this can make sense for them to have maybe a bit of trauma with their owners. And so, he resolves to take our toys away. Yeah, I don't quite understand his motivation, but the idea is that he felt or was harmed, and now he's taking it out on everyone else. That's generally, I think, the beginnings of a good villain. Was he a good villain? I don't know, but he did basically get redeemed, and Santa found him a home. It's like, yeah, kind of the standard stuff that we even saw with the toys from the Island of Misfit Toys in the last one, which is done again on this one, and lots of returning toys in this one. And there's just some other unique and interesting things with this little special. But the CGI animation, that is the one area where I think this could improve. Story-wise, it's pretty good. There's some awkward scenes too, some awkward writing in some areas where, like, how does this affect the story? But then it does, because another one of the story threads is the Rudolph one doesn't even want to have a red nose. Which is, yeah, that is a valid, that's something we never considered. Like, how does Rudolph himself feel about his nose once it became useful? Does he just want to be a regular reindeer? And those are some interesting questions to explore. And because you can probably guess how it goes, but yeah, Rudolph keeps his red nose, of course. But the CGI, yeah, that is definitely, this is early CGI. It's not the greatest. It looks good on the poster, but there's just some scenes that are they just don't sit well, for lack of a better term. They're lacking in substance, if you will. They seem very toy-like, if you will. And the reason why Pixar went with Toy Story for its first feature film. But the toys always looks good. It's just when you get to the non-toy characters, the reindeer, the elves, Santa, well, you start in the snowman and some of the scenery, where things start to seem a bit too plastic-like, and especially compared to how things looked in the non-CGI, so the stop-motion animated one. But that is pretty much all I have for you today. So just let me know in the comment section down below, what did you think of this special Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys? which is a very long title. But let me know what you thought of it down below. I would love to hear from you. Do you have any different thoughts? And particularly, what are your thoughts regarding the animation? Also, feel free to like and upvote the video if you haven't done so already. And consider checking out any of the links below. We got my Facebook, my Twitter, Discord server, great places to hang out and chat, website, all that and more down below. So go check that stuff out if you are so interested. So again, thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing or following my channel if you haven't yet done so. And feel free to check out either the video or the playlist on screen now. And as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!